and welcome to Stretford Paddock. My name is Joe and this is 7 reasons why Manchester United drew 2-2 with Leicester on Boxing Day. First up, sloppy passing. United, in that second half especially, passes to the strikers, passes out from the defence to the midfield. Anytime we had the ball in transition, we were passing it either 2 yards or a yard behind the man we were trying to pass it to, or a yard in front of the man we were trying to pass it to. It culminated in Dan James when we were breaking on the counter-attack. We had 1 defender and 2 United attackers going through, and Dan James played the pass straight at the defender. Now, United's passing this season has been good. It's been the best things about United. Our play in transition, little flicks around the corner, players running onto little discreet small passes, playing out from the back. It's been great. But today, we got caught because whether we weren't expecting Leicester's press, whether because we were a bit lackadaisical, we'd had too many chocolate oranges the day before, I don't know what it was, but United couldn't string passes together the way they normally do, and that thwarted United's chances and United's attacking threat. And to be honest, it's the main difference between us winning and losing. We gave the ball away because of a pass from Bruno Fernandes, and that's what conceded the first goal for Leicester. You give the ball away on the edge of your box from a bad pass, they score, it's 1-1, and we can't afford to do that. Number 2, no leadership. When you're looking on the pitch for Manchester United, you're looking in different positions. Who is going to drag this team from 2-1 up, from 2-2, from 1-0 up, from 1-1? Who is going to drag this team from a draw to a win? And you look around, and it should be Harry Maguire, and we've said him before that, you know, Bruno Fernandes is sort of taking on that mantle. He's a leader, and whilst he is, we don't have enough of those players, and whether we do or not, they aren't working out on the pitch. Now, Harry Maguire was given the captaincy very early into his Manchester United career, arguably before we'd had a full chance to gauge whether he was captain material. Now, part of that is his fault, maybe because he's not sort of pushed on in the way you would want in terms of verbally, in terms of marshalling his defence, marshalling the team. But another part of that was sort of thrust upon him. Ashley Young left in January. We had to pick another captain. Who were we going to pick? Who knows at the time? Obviously, Bruno Fernandes came in, maybe could have worked, but he wasn't there when Ashley Young left. Now, that's no excuse for Harry Maguire to not marshal, not shepherd his defence, not keep people in position. That's no excuse for other players further up the pitch who should be able to lead this team regardless of whether you got that captain's armband on. Martial's been here for a long time. I think Rashford does a lot more leadership than you would expect from a player of his age. But we need to see more from these players. You look at players like Luke Shaw. He's one of the longest playing people in this squad. Do you ever consider Luke Shaw a leader? Or does he seem like the sort of player that plays every game, looks good sometimes, looks bad sometimes, and when things go bad, he's looking up for reasons why it isn't his fault? Luke Shaw, and it's not just him, across the board, this team doesn't have enough leaders in it. Number 3 then, and it is a lack of depth in United's defence. We saw Victor Lindelof playing right back today. Now, we have got Brandon Williams, we have got Axel Tuanzebe, we have got Timothy Fosu-Mensah, but for some reason, in the absence of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Ole chose to play Victor Lindelof. I think that's a message from Ole to the board saying, I need a right back. I'm having to play my second centre back, who usually plays alongside Harry Maguire every week. I'm having to play him out on the right hand side because we don't have backup for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Now, Ole's already bought a fullback in Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who's been very successful in that role. You know, there's been a lot of talk about him going forward, but defensively, he's made that role his own and he's been excellent. But what United don't have is an option. We don't have a backup. And I think Ole was trying to prove that today by basically playing someone who's never played right back for United, who has played right back reportedly for Benfica a few times at right back. And it didn't work. He got injured, unfortunately, which isn't to do with his performance, but he didn't play very well at all. And he got subbed off. And United need to find a way where we have someone who's good defensively at right back. We have someone who's good going forward at right back. We have someone who's good defensively at left back and someone who's good going forward at left back. And hopefully, they can be the same person. One person who can do it all. But obviously, that doesn't seem to be the case at the minute. When we're trying to attack, we play Telles. When we're trying to defend, we play Shaw. When we're trying to defend, we play Wan-Bissaka. When we're trying to attack, who knows who we play on the right-hand side? It basically seems to be Wan-Bissaka every single time. So we need some depth. And we've seen as well that Eric Bailly came back and played well today, but generally speaking, you can't rely on him physically. You can't rely on Phil Jones physically. At the moment, you can't rely on Axel Tuanzebe physically. So United need depth in defensive areas, and it was proven today by the fact that Victor Lindelof was playing right back. The 4th reason United drew with Leicester is because we've missed too many chances. Rashford with a header in the first 5 minutes. We saw Rashford going one-on-one with the goalkeeper. We saw the ball blazed across to Martial, who swung and basically had an air shot from about 10 yards out. Manchester United make chances in every game they play. I think we had 5 clear chances today to Leicester's 1. But United missed chances. We saw it against PSG, we saw it against Istanbul Besiktas, we saw it against Leipzig, we saw it against Chelsea. We've seen it in pretty much every single game that United have dropped points in. And it keeps happening. Leicester today, you may call it lucky, you may call it clinical, whatever you want to call it, They had one clear chance and they scored 2 goals. I don't even know how that's possible, but United need to turn it from 5 clear chances, 2 goals, to, when we get a chance, we stick it in. And of course, strikers, players, wingers, whoever it is, isn't going to score every single chance. But when you've got a man in the middle who's got a free header from 6 yards out, they've got to be finding the target. Number 5, and that is a lack of communication, especially defensive communication. Again, this maybe comes back to the lack of leaders. You're looking at Harry Maguire for a reason why this defence isn't speaking the way it should, isn't being held, isn't tight the way it should be. Look at the first goal. Bruno Fernandes looks up, doesn't really have a pass on, doesn't hear from anyone behind him where a potential pass is. No one's saying get it out, no one's saying boot it, no one's saying there's a pass on behind you. He looks up, doesn't see anything, tries to play it through the player's legs, which is stupid. And all of a sudden, McTominay and Eric Bailly are left to close their man down. And Harvey Barnes is there with basically a free shot. McTominay doesn't close him down. Eric Bailly doesn't close him down. No one speaks. No one makes the movement. No one takes the initiative to close that player down. And he gets a free shot and sticks the ball in the back of the net. The same thing with the second goal. Harry Maguire is trying to marshal that position on the corner of the 6-yard box. He doesn't get the block on the cross. And then between Tuanzebe and Eric Bailly, they leave Jamie Vardy to have a free shot on goal, which luckily goes in. But communication is such a key thing, and it's so clear from the misaligned shape, the lines of the defence, the way that the defenders and the midfielders give the ball away because of passes and runs that are being made that aren't being accounted for when the passer's playing the ball. The communication at Manchester United currently, and in this game specifically, aren't quite good enough, but hopefully United's flair, United's talent, United's creativity can make up for that, and hopefully the more this team plays together, United will score goals and United will overcome and learn from this lack of communication. Number 6 then, and it's a bit of a positive one. United still scored 2 goals. We can talk about the communication, we can talk about the leadership, we can talk about missing chances. United still scored 2 goals, and it's been all doom and gloom so far, but number 6 is that we do still score goals. We make a lot of chances, we score a lot of goals. We've seen it in almost every game this season, United make chances. And again, sometimes you're going to miss those chances, and it's frustrating when you miss a chance and you make a mistake at the other end and it costs you points. But today, what you have to look at is we did make those chances. We did have those 5 chances created. Even though we only scored 2 of them, the fact that we keep making chances against all of our opponents is very promising for United. And once we can either change the personnel, the shape, the system, the confidence of that defensive unit, 2 goals away from home, we saw against Everton. That can and should be enough. United still created 2 goals today, still scored 2 goals today. And really, it's our attacking line, that front 6, that keep us in games, that get us points. Today that we were ahead twice, but if we hadn't scored those goals, we may well have lost. So United's creativity is still there, we still make chances, and there's still a very good chance we're going to pick up a hell of a lot of points this season. And finally then, the 7th reason why Manchester United drew with Leicester is because Bruno still provides, even on an off day, which people like levelling at Bruno because he's not the sort of player where every pass comes off, where every turn comes off, every flick comes off, every shot comes off. If you want to look at Bruno and say, did he make mistakes today? In every single game he plays, the answer is yes. And people look at that and decide he's not had the best of games today. Oh, Bruno, he's not been very good today, but he's still got a goal. What Bruno Fernandes is there to do isn't to make the pass every time, isn't to have 95% pass completion, isn't to only shoot when the goalkeeper is off his line or moving out of the way. Bruno Fernandes is there to take chances. Bruno Fernandes is there to create things, whether that's goals, whether that's assists. Bruno Fernandes does that every single game. And you can look at him and go, he didn't have a great game today, but he did. Because what he did is he created space for his teammates. He found his teammates in difficult positions. You look at the assist today for Rashford. People say it may have been accidental. Well, the ball comes across, he slides in, he gets a toe on it, plays it through 2 defenders, and Rashford side foots it in. Now, throughout this season, you've seen fans of opposition teams, fans of Manchester United say, that was an accident, he didn't mean that, it's a 3-yard pass, it's a 4-yard pass. Why is no one else doing it? You think it's so easy to make a 4-yard pass to McTominay against Leeds. You think it's so easy to accidentally assist Marcus Rashford. And why has he got 31 goal involvements in 28 games since playing for Manchester United in the Premier League? He's broken the record for the most goal involvements in a calendar year in Premier League history for a midfielder. He wouldn't be doing that if he's had a bad game, he's had a bad week, he's not been at his best. What he does is make space for other people, make chances, and makes goals for himself, and that is invaluable. You can talk about having a good game and a bad game, and sometimes it's a little bit route one to just give man of the match to the bloke who scored. But when he scores and assists every single week, he's man of the match. And Bruno Fernandes today, whilst it wasn't maybe his best game, and even I'm saying it, he was one of the reasons that United managed to get 2 goals. Right, that's going to be all from me. Make sure you check out the 12 Days of Christmas giveaway. We are in full swing now. The first gift has been given away, and today's gift is going to be a signed Andy Cole book, so make sure you join and become a member for that. And on the final day, of course, we will be giving away a Sony PlayStation 5, and there's going to be gifts every single day until the 6th of January. So check out the memberships if you want to be part of that. Also, give me your reasons why United drew to Leicester in the comments below. Is it because United aren't good enough in front of goal? Is it because Manchester United aren't good enough defensively? Or is it actually a decent result against a very good side? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for joining me, and we'll see you in a bit.